knowing this flower would be able to, well, I should say not the flower, but this, what's the bird we used to call him again?
Oh gosh.
It wasn't one of those
Lapwood,
birds,
lapwing bird.
the lapwing bird, but there's the next one. We used to call him
The crow.
the what?
The crow.
The crow. Yes.
The crow.
There's this crow. Oh no, I don't know who's saying Kobo. No, no, no. Not that bird. No,
lap,
not that
lap,
bird.
lapwing bird.
Lapwing bird, yeah. That was the latest.
Lapwing
Yeah,
bird.
lapwing bird,
Crow.
yes, yes. Jesus. Let us see what all the call him.
Fire, yes. Oh boy.
Oh my dear, I tell you. Well, I think he'll come in soon. I think he'll come in soon.
Yes,
So
yes.
no
We
big
await his grand arrival.
yeah. Well, did they charge a man who walked in the police station and say he carried out that horrible act?
Well, no, that was beamed as social media bacchanal. Today the autopsy revealed that the boy died by drowning, and there were no
Marks of violence.
marks of violence on his body. So they have deemed it accidental. Well, boy, I really don't know. Trust me, I don't know what to believe. God alone will tell us. Maybe He might show us in a vision or a dream, because that is very difficult to understand. I mean, I was trying to explain to people because I'm from that part of South. I'm not from Point. I'm a good way from Point Fountain, but still we are like a big village. Library and
Where the
Point.
body was found, just 1 second, Daddy Max. Sorry about that. Where the body was found,
Mhm.
where it was found, not
In a
in the
river,
river
in the Guapo
or at,
River. Now, for the people who know the area, Tishe Village, the border of Tishe Village, let's say the northern or the northwestern, um, the northeastern side of Tisha Village, and more east of Tisha Village is the Guapo area. That area has a lot of bush and thing. There's a part there that the highway comes through and all of that. But what I'm saying is that from Tisha Village to that river is a very long distance. It's not like from yard to yard or right down by the corner or something. So that's a long distance, and that is through the bush, or where there used to be a set of bush, because the highway cuts across right in the on the western side of that same Guapo area. Right, so if you're coming from Tisha through the bush, it's a long distance to the river, and if you're using the main roads, it's even longer. So my question is, did the baby go through all that bush by itself? Wasn't the baby scared at no time with nobody around it so it could have made noise? All kind of things you hear. And you hear men who were cutting bush heard the baby and saw the baby, and that was it. So people seeing babies moving around now and not inquiring, not investigating. Who investigate? Like the woman who they had on the social media, saying she saw the baby and all kind of thing. I am so astonished to know that people seeing babies wandering away like headless chickens, not knowing what direction to go into, and just rock back, or just saying, "Hey, like a baby walking on you." you know, I don't understand that at all. I have to give that some serious thought, seeing that the people who live down in that area will know the area, and I was sent a post on my phone. I'm gonna see if I can share it with you, Richard, where
yeah.
they show you the distance the baby had to walk.
Wow. And a short in short.
No, and people say all that distance the baby walk. It's difficult to understand. You know, I will send it to you. You'll be shocked. Ruben, I'll
Yeah.
send it to you too. You know, yeah, it's difficult to understand that. That's a long distance, partner. That's a long distance for people like me and you who are adults. and I don't see a baby going through all that bush. You have to know the bush to go through the bush. Where does baby be headed? In the bush. That's a kind of mad scene. That's a really mad scene if you ask me.
Since that lady spoke the first day,
Well, they didn't say that. The police said the autopsy revealed that it was the baby died by drowning. No signs of brutality on the body, no mark of violence, and they are deeming it accidental, so nobody would be charged. That's right. You saying child, I
yeah,
saying baby, a
no,
real
what,
baby. Yes, yes.
no, I think what Ruben talking about is different to what we thought would have happened.
Oh.
Ruben is talking about another angle, which is correct also,
Mm-hmm.
because the parent or guardian would have to be processed for allowing the baby to be outside, you
Hmm.
know, either you call it child abandonment or neglect,
Mm-hmm.
whichever it is, it was reckless.
Hmm.
Because who would have their 2-year-old baby walking the distance of another house alone? That's far.
Hmm.
You normally see parents in the yard, some of them they have three, four, five children. But
Mm-hmm.
you know that mother in the yard and she has a kind of imaginary boundary in her mind.
Hmm.
From the time one going too far, what she does, she say, no, 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 you come back here, you come back here. You
That's
straying too
right.
far. You
Yes.
understand? Stay in
Yeah.
my sight, stay right here. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody can play. And while they're running from here to there, and you thinking she not seeing, she's seeing and calculating everybody's movements and how far they're, that's what a mother does.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That
Mm-hmm.
is the same thing even with how's it say, a female dog.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
They guard the boundaries of the children very, very, how's it say, close to the chest.
Yeah.
Um, and they know when they're going a little too far, and they
Mm-hmm.
would stop them because beyond that line that they have, they believe chaos could reign. Even if they can't explain to themselves what that chaos might be, they believe something, very wrong could take place, and they prefer to prevent that from happening than having to respond to that.
I tell you,
You understand?
it's true.
Yeah. So yes, I think some kind of legal action would be brought against the parents
Of
for
course,
having that. Yeah.
that's along the lines of negligence, big times.
Yeah, of course, that is negligence.
Yeah.
You have a baby. You have a duty of care as a parent to that child.
Yes, and you have to.
Imagine you're 17 years of age and you take a decision and the court telling you they don't recognize that. And they
I'm
ask them
telling
why.
you. Yeah,
You say you're a minor and
that's
you're
right.
17, eh? You have O levels already, you have A levels
Yeah.
already.
Yeah,
Court telling you not recognizing your decision. You're too young.
that's right.
Forget that. And
Yes.
you expect a 2-year-old,
Hmm.
which is 15 years younger than 17,
Yeah.
could walk from one house to the next.
Hmm.
And imagine that not the issue here. You send me something here looking like a whole drag strip, a quarter
I,
mile from the Twin Cap.
I tell you, it's not no short distance.
Yeah,
That's
I
not.
mean crazy. Somebody had to
Hmm.
account for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that one will come. But that one, the one we were talking about is like if it was a crime where somebody caused the death of the child,
Yeah.
whether intentionally or strategically.
Mm-hmm.
However,
Mm-hmm.
that's the one, and because it has been deemed to be an accident,
Yeah.
especially coming from the police, well, that is what happening there
Yeah.
is they're
That's
saying it's done.
boy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Every police
Let
said
me
that.
tell you something. It's not hard. I just want to say this, eh? When you're dealing with a baby, a person, and I mean this respectfully, and I'm not saying this to give anybody ideas, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to add to it, but someone could drown any youngster, 1 month old, three
Yeah.
years old, and
Mm-hmm.
leave no mark in the body.
Yeah, it's true. It's
You understand what I'm saying?
very easy to drown a baby. It's very easy. A teaspoon of
You could
water to
just
drown a
stand
baby.
up. We ran a tape a time where a man had a child in a barrel. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And he beat him first.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then he put his head down in the barrel and held him there for a long time and then pull him out. in
Yes.
the back of Iran. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I think they were looking for him, and then we were told that was not in Trinidad, it was in some other Caribbean country.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm saying anybody could do that to a child, and you wouldn't have marks. So if you take an adult and try to do that, if the adult is weaker than the other one who is seeking to do it to him, if the potential victim is weaker than the potential assailant, the assailant is the one who want to drown him. You're not going to have a fight. You're not just going as an adult. They don't care if you big like Hulk.
Yeah.
You're not just going to let somebody put your head under water and not try to pop a fight.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's
And in that struggle, you would find marks on the deceased. You understand? And the assailant may leave with some marks too.
yeah.
You understand? But with a child, you wouldn't get that. A person could easily hold a child like
Hmm.
you're hugging at that child and stoop down in the water and just keep holding the baby.
Yeah.
And your head outside,
Hmm.
until a baby start moving and then you leave the baby there.
Yeah.
You understand? And you could have been in a big shirt, some kind of thing where you leave no physical anything on the baby.
I
You
know.
understand?
Yeah.
And you're gone. So saying the baby drunk is like trying to tell me the baby went for a swim and lose
Well,
and
well,
somewhere in the
I
swim
want
something
somebody
went
to
wrong.
explain to me how the baby made it to the river. After
Yeah.
that, I will contemplate on how it drowned. But tell
I
me how
don't know
that
who could
baby
have
reached
done
home.
it, but I'm only raising this to let people know
Yeah.
while all that we heard could be true,
Mm-hmm.
there's still another explanation for it.
I
Let
tell
somebody try
you,
to do that to you, like Daddy Mac. I bet you,
man.
if they should succeed, which I doubt they would, they go have marks and you go have marks.
Of course.
You understand? If
Must
they
put
try
up
to
a
do it to
fight.
me, they go have marks and I go have marks.
Yeah. That's
You understand?
a natural way of responding, man.
Of course. But a baby, come on.
I tell
A baby is
you,
none the wiser. A baby cannot defend himself.
that's
He don't
right.
even know what defense mean. You understand?
Yeah.
So telling us that the next stage now is if that is the case, could someone have drowned them?
Hmm. I don't know. They said it was accidental. The
Yeah.
police said that after the autopsy. So I don't know what message they're sending there. Just see.
Strange.
Very strange. Very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I
very strange.
I can't understand too that the baby went missing for such a period of time that nobody home raised a sort of an alarm, that a vociferous alarm that would have send like a shockwave through the village to know, oh, my baby gone, I don't know, my baby gone, my baby missing. It was like only when this woman saw the baby, because they put it up that the baby was missing. I saw it on my phone the day before they found him. And I was
Mhm.
saying, this little child, how this little child get away from the parents. So I thought maybe that was human trafficking. It might have boiled down to that, where the baby missing forever. Because
Mhm.
there are people who get involved in that kind of criminality, if I should put it like that, for
Mhm.
body parts. I mean, that in to be afraid to say because it happens. You understand? You hear about
Mhm.
babies looking for people looking for body parts and certain babies and cha la 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 kind of thing. So I don't know. According to Sprang Alarm, missing plenty people in this saga, missing plenty people.
Plenty.
Yeah,
Plenty.
yeah.
Yeah. But let's look at that in the developing days and we see what happens.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Um, the Prime Minister has indicated.
I'm glad you're going there because I said this. We had it on point yesterday.
Which one? Which one?
The excuses and what the money will be spent on.
Yes. You're talking about what played off in Parliament today?
Well, yes. I mean, there was a press conference, and
Tell me what was your takeaway? Yeah.
I didn't have time to follow it word for word, but in listening to
Mhm.
news, on another frequency when I heard that well, the Prime Minister acknowledged that there'll be benefits from this windfall. Well, he didn't mention it as no windfall. I am saying that because he said you know, even though that is the amount people might be looking at, we're gonna pay small debts with it. But nobody said who are the debtors?
They
Who is
get
gonna be paid to?
a bit more money in the coffers, same line.
Yeah.
And 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 yes, while they could do a little more with it,
Yeah.
it's nothing that they could say, you know, it's sustainable. So they have to wait until they get some more. And right after that, they went back to the same thing, you know,
Yes.
yeah, about what you had to do for yourself. And
Yeah.
everybody know what they had to do for themselves. Everyone knows what they have to do for themselves, you know. Why it is so hard? You see, what happening here is the unraveling of a strategy that
Yes.
was hidden for quite some time,
Mm-hmm.
and it could have been hidden successfully simply because at the time they came in,
Yeah.
they could have sell it that things bad, we in recession, so they had the world of an excuse. Oil prices down, they
Yeah.
had the money, we have none. But
Yeah.
that only lasted until about they went in 2015 September.
Yeah.
By May 2016, that had turned around, you know. But the argument was still acceptable because they was still talking about honeymoon and they are new and this and that. But
Yeah.
then oil prices went even higher
Yeah.
in 2017, and that was sustained all the way up to 2020,
Mm-hmm.
right? But a minimal fluctuation in between like 80 to 75 to 72, back up to 78. You
Yeah.
follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the key thing is that oil was out and around between 75 and $80.
Hmm.
And therefore they were making money all the time. But they
Yeah.
felt they would, you know, you call getting by quietly.
Yeah.
That's what was happening. They were getting by quietly.
Right.
And because they were getting by quietly, they wanted to maintain that. So the people believe they're working hard, they're trying hard, people not getting anything. But the biggest takeaway there is that people understood what was happening and why they're not getting anything, and they're
Yeah.
cool and trying to make things work. And they decide, let's stretch that out as far as we possibly can.
Yeah.
You know, let's make them continue to believe things are bad and we can't help them, and they will try to help themselves,
Tell
and
you.
we will be able to get by quietly.
The
Quietly.
one Mr. Quest described, you know, Richard, you and I know Quest. Quest is not, he don't follow joke money. He not following the $500 or no $1,000. Mr. Quest and them follow big money. So when they saw Trinidad is on the take of that kind of revenue from the oil and the gas and stuff, I mean, why write it off as it's not much money and it's just a little bit to pay off small debts? I mean, what they trying to fool? They think we forget the quest part.
Yeah.
I think they're behaving as though they came up with this story. And it wasn't an interviewer that was interviewing our people. They come up, the one it sounded to me yesterday as though, well, all here now, we make some money, but it's a little bit. We could just pay small debts. Don't look for anything, all. We had to pay small debts. They didn't say what the debts are, who are the debtors of these debts, who are we going to repay. Nothing like that. They just shake it off. Like, I know. You see how Mr. Quest described the windfall? I do not bother in them heads. They're vexed too bad that he described it like that. We would have never known of that amount of money.
No, and
Nobody called
actually,
it.
you know, but it would have never been confirmed because while we were talking about it, we
Yeah.
couldn't confirm it.
No.
But what happened to them now? Because Richard Quest is requested, is respected globally in
Yeah.
this field.
Yeah.
They know that they can't say Quest don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because if they say that and not come back to Quest, he'll go on the television on his program and
Yeah.
show how much money they gain and calculate it and show that. What do you call that?
Yes.
That means yeah, we call that a windfall, and not just a windfall, a huge windfall.
I tell
It
you.
is that they can't count or they don't know.
Just
You
just
understand?
yeah,
Yeah.
just like Chris asking, What you gonna do with it? That tells
Yeah,
you
they
of
take the
the
money
quantum of
for
this money.
young, the minister. He was wondering how to maneuver myself out of this, boy, because I
Yeah.
can't tell him it
It's
is a
not true.
windfall,
You know?
right?
Yeah.
When the instruction home is that we are not to mention that. So if I tell you yes, I'm going against my advisor's home, they're
Yeah.
gonna say I failed them and I blow the cover, right? So I
Yeah.
can't do that. But a cartel quest, we're not getting a windfall.
That's
So
right.
he's stuck, you know. He said, so what you going to do with all that windfall? He
Yeah.
said, well, um, we have bills to pay.
Yeah. Post
And,
COVID.
coming out of the pandemic, we
Yeah.
have bills to pay twice. Eh? He
Yes.
mentioned, you had the clip still?
I think so, yes.
Play it again. Play it again.
Let me
Let us see it.
I'm just
Let
listening.
us see it.
Hold on. Hold
Yeah.
on, let me jacket up my stuff for you. I
Now,
don't know why the
I want
feel.
you to hear I want you all to hear Quest calling out a member of the richest government in the history of this country. A government that is two budgets away from $500 billion. I want you all to wait and see. This is the first government that will reach up to $500 billion. Folks, for a population of 1.3 million people.
I tell
That,
you.
that, that, that is not just windfalls.
Of
That
that
will
1.3 million people, when we talk like that, we have to remember that 1.3 million people is made up of very elderly people or senior citizens and very
yes.
young children, babies up to a certain area who won't really have need for that any kind of big, you know,
And
disposable
that's a good
income.
point.
You
And
understand?
therefore, the ones who would really want part of that money
Yeah,
may range from the age 19, I'll go there,
yeah, yeah,
18, 19, up
yeah.
to about 65 in
Right.
that bracket.
Now,
Yeah.
in that bracket, it would not be 1 point something million. So, which means there's
No,
more of the
that bracket
windfall to serve it.
700,000 people.
Yeah.
And that's 700,000. So really, $500 billion
Ay, ay,
for
ay.
about 700,000 people.
I tell you.
Oh my dear me.
I'm a
Now
caller
that,
tonight. You want to hear the clip
yeah,
or the caller?
let's take the caller first since they spend their money, and then we'll go back to the clip.
Okay. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Noray.
Yes.
Mr. Noray,
Same.
good afternoon.
Hello.
Mr. Noray,
Yes, he's hearing you.
Yes,
He's
I had
answering
good
you.
afternoon.
twice.
Yes, he's
Yes, good
answering.
afternoon for the third time.
You know who is just talking to you?
Well, he wouldn't know.
Not sure.
Huh?
Tell
No,
us.
but I know you will tell me.
Yes, tell us. We're on air.
Jama who is to come in one or two. Remember Jama?
Oh,
DJ
Funky
Jama?
Gemma, the DJ.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Well, I was 70 years, the 11th of May. I speak
Okay.
to Richard and them. I speak to Richard and Wendell and them.
Yeah.
So I just looking on the phone, I see, I say, let me call, say good afternoon, Mr. Noray, and where Mr. Skippy?
Good question.
coming on.
We are awaiting his grand arrival.
All is late. Steve,
Huh?
yes. I talked to Steve Khan, everybody this morning, and
Okay.
yesterday I talked to him too. Okay?
Yeah, let me
So I
wish
just
you
wanted to
let me
say
wish you happy birthday. I don't say belated birthday, right? So let me say happy birthday. Welcome to your new year and may God bless you throughout this new
thank
year.
you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. Darling, when are we going right? Oh, God. That's, yes, that's a young old voice. Eh? It's that old voice, 70 years now,
Okay, okay.
It's that old voice.
Yeah, 70 years
Okay?
young.
Oh, Lord. Okay, have a good one. God
You're
bless.
not talking about me,
Same to you, same to you.
Okay, right. Okay.
Yes, the other Richard we've been talking about.
Okay, all right, yeah. I am quite far from there, no,
I
Jabba.
know. Okay, folks, this is the clip.
The nation is the largest. Now, the war's threat to Europe's energy security is countries looking for other suppliers. Ramping up production is Trinidad and Tobago. The nation is the largest natural gas producer in the Caribbean. Before the pandemic, it was the world's 8th biggest LNG exporter, according to BP. The government expects output to return to pre-pandemic levels by next year. Stuart Young is the energy minister at Trinidad and Tobago, is with me now. Minister, grateful that you're with me. I was listening, you know, I saw the G7 the other day and read the statement, and I saw about how cutting off or weaning off Russian oil and gas would require extra from everybody else. How can Trinidad and Tobago help Europe, or anybody indeed, by producing more?
Thank you very much, Mr. Quest. It's indeed a pleasure and a privilege to be here with you and this international audience today. Trinidad and Tobago is a twin island state with the southernmost Caribbean islands in the Caribbean, and we're only about 5,100 square kilometers. How can we contribute? We're looking on at this international crisis taking place, and as you said, we see ourselves as punching way above our belt. We have been a significant gas producer, LNG producer, for the last few decades. At our height of production, we were pumping out about 770 million MMBTU of LNG a year on an annual basis. We have 4 trains. So we see the ability. We have additional capacity right now, Richard, and we are eager to step in to assist in what is going on globally in whatever way we can. It's not only on the LNG front, but we're also a significant ammonia producer in Trinidad as well, ammonia and methanol, and we have capacity there as well. So as a gas producer and someone who turns gas into both LNG as well as what we call petchems and ammonia, methanol, urea, UAN, we are ready to do what we can to assist with what we see as this crisis taking place.
And also internally within the country, the increased price that we're now seeing for both gas and for oil must, I mean, you know, it's an ill wind that blows no good, I suppose, but you must be doing better as a result of your energy exports.
Well, we certainly are. I heard you talk about pre-pandemic stages. We've gone through yet another cycle coming out of the difficulties of the early stages of the pandemic. And yes, we are seeing income increase as a result, especially on the LNG side, as well as the ammonia side of pricing. As you know, with ammonia prices, they've climbed from around $180 a metric ton. They're now hovering around $1,400 a metric ton. So there is a significant increase in revenue to these companies, etc. And we will see some in our coffers as well.
What are you going to do with it? I mean, what are you going to do? You know, I mean, to the extent that the windfall that you are enjoying is tremendous amounts of revenue.
Well, Richard, I wouldn't put it as tremendous amounts of revenue. You know, as a government, what you're doing is you're really making those revenue increases off of taxation. So you wait for it to come in. But as a government, just coming out of a very difficult time with the pandemic, you have bills. So we'll be paying our bills. We survived the early stages of the pandemic. The government revenue is used to look after approximately 1.4 million people here in Trinidad and Tobago who, quite frankly, have quite a good life. So we'll be spending it on our education, which we've spent billions on in terms of our currency and just other things that are necessary for the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Fanny, let's get to the issue of how, in your view, does the world wean itself off Russian oil and gas. I mean, we can have a long discussion about was Europe foolish for not weaning itself earlier post the annexation of Crimea in 2014. But we are where we are, and the difficulty now for Germany, for Italy, for the Netherlands, for all these other countries, Hungary says to withdraw Russian oil and gas would be like hitting the economy with an atom bomb.
What you have to look at is globally what other countries can help contribute by ramping up production. So that's where we want to come in and assist. But you know, Richard, there's another conversation taking place with respect to weaning yourself off of gas. We see it as completely different. So there's a whole renewable conversation which we're in support of, but we see gas as the cleanest hydrocarbon fossil fuel. And we actually think gas is going to be around for decades. So for example, in Trinidad, 99.9% of our electricity needs are derived from the natural gas that we produce. So how does the rest of the world, and in particular Europe, deal with this current crisis? You have to look at where there's alternative supply of natural gas, and hey, Trinidad and Tobago is one of those places.
Minister, very grateful for you tonight. A different perspective on this. Actually, I'll be quite honest, I had no idea really that TNT was such a huge, such a big player in this, and I'm delighted that we've covered it tonight. We learn something new every day, sir. I'm grateful. Thank you. As we continue, it's Quest Means Business. Elon Musk has confirmed one of the changes he would bring to Twitter. If he sees...
I think he's just on Mr. Quest in the end of the week going that's away from part of the question.
No, Quest was ready to go. Quest is saying my show is not for that.
Yeah, I tell you, like
my show is not for that.
Yeah.
We get a straight talk or not. You tell me we have bills. We come out with pandemic. We have bills to pay, and we'll be paying our bills.
Yes.
You say we're stressing on bills.
Yes.
That's for two reasons. One, because you want to say, well, while we had the money, that's what you're saying. We don't have none to give because we have bills to pay.
That's right.
So that's what you're saying to the ordinary man in society here.
Mm-hmm.
If policy we're making money, we're not arguing that. As if we can still get you to believe we're better off.
Yeah.
But if you think we have money, by the few of you all who think we have money, I want you all to know this. We have bills to pay and we'll be paying our bills. You know, we emphasize on bills.
Yeah, but they're not
now,
saying...
that second point of emphasizing on bills after he said what he said.
Yeah.
That is to buy him time to find out what else he could have slipped in to say it's a cost factor, heavy cost driver.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't find any. So he ended up going back to bills twice.
Yeah.
You know, and he trying to make it sound like a list, but it's only bills he said twice, and then he slipped in education.
Yeah.
All our money on bills and education.
Yeah. But where education is concerned, he was stressing also on the duration of the pandemic, and schools were closed, bro. People home, people who needed computers and things. The government didn't supply all the devices to the students. Parents bought devices and all of that. So when he says he spends that amount on education, what period he's talking about with that spending, if we had to put it in terms of the receipt of this windfall? You know, the windfall, it's been falling all the time. That is what I got. It's been windfalling all the time. It just shut up. Imagine from 800 US to 1400 US. You know? I mean, that is a lot of money, right? That is real money. And when I heard the Prime Minister say, well, we have small bills to pay. A little look at it, we have small bills to pay. Well, who are this money being paid to as the people who are collecting the payment of these bills? Who? They're not saying that. Which entity? Which government? Who? They don't want to give the people here anything if they ask me. So, like you said...
No, that's the idea. It's an easy pass, and they want it to be maintained.
Yeah.
The idea here is just to find a way to keep the people quiet and let them get by on their own.
Yes.
Their job is to ease the people along, right? Continue, however, it could to make the people look inwardly. They must see themselves as the problem.
Yeah.
And therefore, they'll go home and sit down and ask for nothing, do nothing, and some would expire.
Yeah.
Because they beat them into believing your failure is your problem alone.
Yes.
When it's election time, they expect that you will come out and vote and bring others too.
How come? How come the oil and gas that is right under our feet? You know, how come it's never termed or described as or called as the money of the people of the property of the people of Trinidad and Tobago? The moment it's there and we drill it and we find it and mine it and all kind of thing. But the moment it turns into dollars and cents, it don't belong to the people anymore, you know. I find that very strange.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. Yeah, I agree fully. Yeah. It's something else.
I,
Something else.
I just don't understand that, you know. And we have bills to pay. Sounds as though I work for money and I have my own electrical bill, my own water bill. We have bills to pay. They're not telling us what the bills are. They're not telling us who is receiving the payment of these bills. They just say bills. Write it off as bills, 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 bills. The parents say small bills. You know, Mr. Quest said, what you gonna do with that windfall? They write it off like, you know, like, nah, the companies and them getting all the money, man. We just get a taxation from it. Well, I don't understand everything. I told her, which I tell you, I'm not voting again. I'm not voting for that kind of madness. Yeah. I'm not hearing you. What did you do? Where did you go? I'm not hearing you now. See if you
No,
touch
I'm here. I'm right here, right here, right here.
it.
I'm
Okay,
right here. Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I find it very difficult to understand. I'm not going to stress myself for trying to understand because I know what they're up to. I know a lot
No,
of
and that's it. It's so sad. It's so sad. Why you want to hold back from the people what the people own?
yeah. How
This
come?
these things, yeah, they belong to the island.
Yes,
It is a country. These all the money coming in this country, it's coming in this country because of the natural resources we have.
that's
The
right.
money belongs to people. If
Yeah,
you get, you're supposed to let them know it's here and let them know what you're doing for them. You're like the father in the kitchen.
that's right.
What you're preparing, you know what I mean? But you
Yeah,
can't just hide it and keep on telling people
yeah.
we have bills to pay and
I
getting nothing. Man.
disrespectful and to some point dishonest. Because we need to
Mhm.
know. We need to know, especially post pandemic. We need to know. We need to know. We should have a next taste of carnival to celebrate the windfall.
Yeah.
We should have our next carnival to celebrate this windfall. The one Mr. Quest described it and put it across. And he did it so simple. But I know they did not want us to know that. They might they very vexed with Quest right now. Why he come and ask and expose all this kind of windfall talk? And when it's just a little pittance we get it from the taxation of that same. So the companies they go with all the money. They go with the majority. So all this oil and gas that are under our feet, and we're hoping that it could put us somewhere decently in the life, and everybody live a decent life. They're telling us now it's just a little change we getting from that, you know, because the companies control that. That's what they're telling me. I
Yeah.
they can't be talking to me, boy. No, I too independent for that. It's okay. I don't want to vote for none of them. If they depend on
So when
money,
we
I never.
so we telling our listeners,
Yes, we should have a taste of carnival if that's kind of windfall. Yeah. I tell you, all of that, all of that, all of that. No, what I'm saying, Ruben, is that now that we know that we are making so much money off our gas, we should be in a nice place. Let's celebrate. That's right, all of that. That is the taste. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, you know, the celebration mood is what I'm talking about. Well, if they have all that kind of money, then if Trinidad made all that kind of money, you should be saying, nice. Well, at least I might get my cool. Yeah, yeah, that's that. Yes, handlers. Just handle us. What the hell happened to them? They feel with.
What bills we have that will equal the windfall?
I tell you.
But we have bills to pay and we'll be paying our bills.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Disrespect. All of them.
No, there are no bills. That's the government decided to use some of the revenue in that way that they had. They didn't borrow to do that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
But
man
it's still
have
not
no.
going to be used to pay bills. What bills?
Hmm.
They
I,
took the money from the Heritage and Civilization Fund
yeah.
to fund the COVID period.
Hmm.
So all that has happened, the trade-off was the money we had in reserve, we reduce it
Yeah.
in order to survive through the pandemic. That was the trade-off.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't expect to live and all the money that was in the Heritage and Civilization Fund would still be there. It don't work so.
Hmm.
And the other day they got some money and they pumped some back into the Heritage and Civilization Fund.
Yeah.
That is quite fair. But that's what the bills I think the minister is talking about.
Hmm. I tell you.
And
I,
since I don't think that is the bills, or those things are the bills, then he needs to tell us what are the bills.
yeah. So that we know where the money is going to end up
We're
eventually.
going, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Whose pocket, whose account? We let us know. That's not your money. But they behave as though it's their money in their pocket and they're just helping out their partner on the road. You know, their partner say, well, broken working man, $5. They move it, so them out of time. Boy, I can laugh at them because I know I'm not voting for none of them. So they ain't getting it straight from me. They'll get it from other people. Let them win off other people. Not my vote. I done with that. That alone tells me how they think about the people on the ground. Nothing for Ole. Ole have to make us look good. It also tells me that politicians, all these politricksters, they get into office to get rich, to live a kind of life, you know, and that's it. And don't bother me after when I reach all, stop bothering me now. What is all this scene? Stop harassing me. You see that? That's what is turn up countries. You know. If the youth are
Some
them,
politicians have become so much more bold-faced.
yes,
Did he say
I tell you,
they coming out and telling people we not no money.
yeah. Imagine
But
that.
all the evidence they seen and hearing.
Yeah.
I mean, no, you hearing about happening with people recusing themselves and the kind of hundreds of millions.
And on how much occasions they did that?
Hmm.
I tell you, small money ground pressure to get small money borrow to build a house or to do something. But them just have all and play with it. I feel like it's theirs. Like nobody contributed there. They had this big settlement. And don't ask me, stop harassing me. I give it that. Humble yourself with that. You know, that's what they're telling us. But not me. I ain't going down that road with them. Let them have a time, partner. I think it's very
No,
unfair.
it's yeah,
Yeah, very unfair.
big time.
You hear
Yeah.
you hear now that imagine CPEP workers. They started up CPEP workers, you know. They cut back CPEP workers pay too, you know. Something went wrong with them fellas, boy.
It's everybody had to be saying the same thing. It didn't have no money.
Yes.
That could have been the sole intention. So when they come to elections now and they release a little, you want to tell them, remember how the last 5 years was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to do
But he
this, we
knows,
had to do that.
yeah, he knows he had no intention of allowing election to come and not give the people anything. So what he would know is that since I'm going to give us something days before the election, all I had to set it up right. He had to set it up for me to be able to go and tell the people, look, it, tomorrow I put in this here and that here and that there and that there. But watch this, watch this. When you're saying that, you're doing it now. You want people to believe you could only do that now and you couldn't do it before.
I tell
You
you.
follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the catch there is to convey to people, if Olive vote for somebody else and only mash this up, or only mash up all yourself, eh?
Imagine that.
Yeah.
I tell you. Folks, you are taking your calls, 222-8255-612-8255 and via our toll-free number 866-525-1099. Give us a call. Yeah, let's hear what's your take. I find it a little quiet. I mean, this is something I had us to smile, I had to smile. I said no. From Mr. Young to the PM, I said that is very well orchestrated. He said, look, we have small bills, we have small debts to pay. From bills to pay. He knew it. He had a car, take it easy to tell people no. Yeah, it's true, we have bills to pay. But he said he called them small debts, small bills to pay. Well, all that money and small bills, you shouldn't even talk about bills. That could have been handled. But I don't know. That's the way it is now in the political world. Everybody seems to be gearing up for a whole lot of what they need. Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mark and Noray.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Notwithstanding what you all are saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that the PNM is the most inclusive party in Trinidad and Tobago,
Okay.
right?
You want to tell us what got you to that place?
Yeah, it's the most inclusive party in that they take care of all the various groups in the country. Let me go in a little detail now.
Yeah.
The Syrians, what people want to brand as 1%, the Syrians are responsible for all the big contracts in this country.
Mm-hmm.
The Indians, whether it's a few or how much, they are responsible for all the projects in this country. And last but not least, the majority of the black people have the least amount of responsibility. That is just about 40%. So that's all right. I know this is the most inclusive party in Trinidad and Tobago.
I like that.
Right, gentlemen?
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother. Good afternoon. All right, call us back. Let me see. Good afternoon. Okay, we lost them. Give us a call again. 222-8255, 612-8255, and 866-525-1099. Give us a call. Tell us what's happening and how you feel. New York, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How's everybody? Fine?
Everybody's fine, man. Everybody's fine.
All right. I'm hearing you all.
Yeah?
I don't disagree, but I have a different take on this. Somehow it came across to me like a written script. That's the first thing. All right? And there are 7 other countries that produce more than Trinidad, but they pick out Trinidad number 8. The party said number 8. All right? And then you also said something, Stuart Young, Stuart Young said something, that you wouldn't start to see the windfall until next year when production is ramped up. You have to, that's the little things he said. So, you know, I am thinking that this is being done, it could be a carrot and a stick. They said, well, listen, look what's coming, you have to stay with us.
Yeah.
Elections coming, look what's coming. I have a different take, but to me, it came across like a written script.
Yeah.
And this was well set up. And he knew exactly what questions that guy was going to be asking him. And he had it, when he started up talking, to me, like he was reading something. He wasn't reading, it was in his head. I don't know in his head. But that's just my take. That this was a whole setup. I don't know the exact reason for it.
Yeah.
But that is just my take on it, gentlemen. You know. All right?
I hear you. Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, brother.
I don't know if you're aware that the Auditor General has put out the report on the accounts of Trinidad and Tobago as at the 30th of September 2021, which is the last fiscal year.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it now, and I see where the statement of public debt, it says that as at the 30th of September 2021, the amount that is there as public debt is 96 billion 752 million 916,000 $857.03. Now, if that is frightening, I don't know what will be frightening if I read further on in this report. But I recommend the report to you to read.
Okay, we'll check on it.
No, that's accumulated debt. From,
yes. Yes.
You pay, you borrow. Debt increased by about $7 billion between 2020 and 2021.
Okay.
So I know how much gas they had to pull out of the ground to cut this down to by a quarter, let us say.
I tell you, man.
So it ain't looking good. Whatever you say, whether they get some money to pay small bills or whatever it is, that was the small contractors. Right? They go tax me to finish pay for this.
Yes, thank you, my brother. Exactly. I agree with you. They're gonna tax the daylight out of us, and they'll make what Mr. Quest says as like a dream. That was just a dream. When we believe that, no, that isn't true. That isn't true. Don't matter. We have one small bills real big. I tell you, these are that's good. I ain't dirty my finger with no ink that taking days to come off again in my life. I sure about that. Never me again. It has to have a whole change, a new paradigm fight to follow up. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good day, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
I'm okay, bro.
Yeah, long time when guests coming over, somebody trying to impress, you go do a quick thing, you go sweep dust under the mat, you go hide thing under the table, tuck it behind the TV, and just make it look nice now.
Yeah.
That's how I started listening to that, because kudos to the lobbyists or whoever it is set up that for him. For the country, but all that nice talky talk there. I've been a layman in the country. I don't I still feel hopeless, and surprisingly, whether things improve, whether things get worse, you never come out benefiting from these things that they're always talking about.
I tell you, my brother.
Whether the prices drop, if they increase, you don't benefit, because once the prices go up in this country,
they don't ever
go back down. And I know people always say, but don't beat up on the government, it's businesses, but it's the government responsibility to put things in place to prevent the exploitation of your citizens. I understand that it's a capitalist society and, free market, I should say. But still, you need to put some things in place because we are humans, and humans will try to get the most out of, to give a belief. So they'll try to always come out on top of the big extinct business. So just say, you know what, we're charging them too much, let me reduce that. No. You will keep trying to maximize the profits.
Yeah.
If given the climate or the environment to do so. So it is the government responsibility to put things in place to prevent to I guess closing the floodgates a bit to say, all right, you could go up to X, Y, and Z, but you can't just set a price. I just say $8 for a biscuit, $10, and it's just going up and up.
Yeah.
And it depending on the businesses, just to be fair. Like, come on. Things increasing almost every week, and they just had to deal with that.
Yeah.
I think so. Charles Gary, the example, that's like the frog in the pot and the boil in the pot. You just take it and what is it? That could be it for you.
Yes, it's true.
And them telling me, and then people coming on the radio to defend Kamala, to defend Rowley, and all kind of totishness. But them living well up there in the palace.
Of course.
Away from everything.
Yeah.
They're driving on the bus route in the best of vehicles. They might be doing feel a bump on it when they're going over them humping them big Prado. But with the one who are the bad roads, you're going up pothole, it could literally burst your tire, damage your car.
Yes.
And we must just take it. Anyway, gentlemen, have a good one.
Thanks for your contribution, my brother.
Thank you, caller.
That fella sounds like my neighbor. We be on the same page,
fella. So long we talking to educate. If this is the only guy, whether he got it from us or we supported him or we contributed it in any way, I'm very happy to hear someone speaks like that. Yes, they are not living like the rest of us.
No.
They're living, some of them are houses, call it like palace, I'm telling you. You don't believe me, just drive through Marval.
Yeah.
And massive house. And I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
But when you see them, they don't live like you. So when you see them pretending, don't take them on, pretending to be wearing a 3/4 pants
Yeah.
or holding a chicken in the sun with a suit. They don't live like you. They don't live like us. They don't. And you're right.
Yeah.
When you see them on the bus route, they're the best vehicle,
Yes.
long cars when you hear them passing. If you didn't see them in here, nothing,
I tell you.
Lots of them electric now, they're moving smooth. I
Hmm.
mean, come on. And we're not vexed with them for that,
No, but
But what they should
let us.
do is appreciate the office they have and the life that the people of this country have assisted them to have,
Yeah.
and then decide, let that inform you to do the job for the people. You won't be able to get everybody to live as you all are living, but you can move a lot of them to a better place than where they are and where they were when they were helping you. Had people in the mud, in the dirt, and still pushing you forward, hoping that when you get in, if you can't pull all out, you go pull a substantial amount out, and those who come out go pull the rest. All
Yeah.
in pulling nobody out.
I tell you,
Only
man.
have money to pull people out and all in not using it to do that.
Hmm.
On the contrary, you want to have all the money, and then people tell people, we ain't had no money. We
Yes.
ain't had no money. And all the ministers go into the constituencies and tell them, we ain't had no money. And I say to those constituents, when they tell you that now that the government is approaching $500 billion, the richest government of all times, ask him member of parliament, ask him minister, when they say he ain't had no money, what do you mean? Could you explain that? What do you
Yeah.
mean? You are part of the richest government of all times in this country. How you can say they ain't have no money? So how they end up spending almost $500 billion? What did they do with that? Where the money gone? If it is that they have money and you didn't know, you are not a good representative. Tell them that.
Yes.
Because they should have known and get some to help improve their constituents' lives. Right? And if it is they have money and your member of parliament did not know they have money, but was telling you they don't have, then that member of parliament wasn't sensible enough to represent you all in the first place, and all you know what to do to him or her next time. All you know what to do. They can't come to you and talk that foolishness. Not when you need help, not when it's you in the hole and you put them there. You need help to come out.
That's
And
right.
it's not that you're asking them to help you come out and you know they don't have. They want you to think and believe they don't have. But now that you know they have, what are you going to do? You have to call on them now to spend the money. They're patching the road, a little patch here, patch there. All that is to convey to the national community. Look, we have very little money. But people know it's not true. People know it's not true. It's not true. And in case you didn't believe us, and in case you didn't know, or in case you had doubts, Richard Quest expunged or erased all those doubts from your mind.
Yes.
He will, else why would such a person, business journalist, ask the question? He didn't ask if we are getting a lot of money. He
No.
didn't say this means you all should be getting a lot of money.
No.
He didn't say perhaps you all may be getting a lot of money. He didn't say any of that. He was clear. He spoke ahead of having the money. Hear
Yeah.
what he said. He didn't say you all have the money. He went further than that. He said, what are you going to do with it now? To do
Yes.
something with it, mean you have it already?
Yes.
Yeah. So he asked the question at such an advanced point. You understand? To control the chase. Check out the question.
Yeah.
He said, what you going to do with all of that windfall? That's a lot of revenue. What you're going to do with all of it? So in other words, you were saying, I know they have it. We don't have to talk that.
Yeah.
And know a lot more coming. We don't have to talk that. Just tell me.
Yeah.
Not that only have all that and more coming. What they intend to do with it?
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he has said to you all, the money is here. We have money in this country. Banks in this country, their liquidity high.
Yeah.
Begging people to borrow money. Begging people to borrow money too. But people can't get the money borrowed because they had job uncertainty. They're under pressure.
Yeah.
Some of them don't have work. Some of them qualified for the loan to borrow it and do business. But they're uncertain about the COVID, whether it will come back, and if they take this loan now and the COVID comes back and they can't do business, how they're going to meet the monthly payment. They're going to lick up their credit rating. So they don't want to take that through defaulting on a loan. So you find you have people who want the money, but they're not taking it, and you have the money that is available. So I have now almost a failed financial sector, almost because of a failed financial market. You have a failed market if you only have sellers and no buyers, or if you only have buyers but no sellers. The market failed, not working. Failed to have a market. You have to have people buying what you have to sell, and the
Yes.
market is operating. So a trade-off is taking place. But if you just have all that you have and nobody buying it, your intention to sell has fallen at the wayside because the market is not working as it should, and therefore it has failed. And in economic terms, that is known as a failed market arrangement. And by the government holding the money and not passing it out so people could get confidence in the system, and more people could get confidence in the job through job security, and that to make sure that more people, those young ones who are graduating and looking for a job, could get a job, because as other agencies get money, there want more people to work to service the poorer people they have to deal with. But
Yeah.
if that is not happening and it just freezing up the whole country, the money would stay in the bank. So our problem in this country is not money or access to it. Our problem is to qualify to access what is readily available.
Yeah.
And that is what the government is doing by hoarding all the money and holding it. And while holding it, you want to tell people it had none. But you had no money, but almost $200 million spent in an election in Tobago.
I tell
Right? Where that came from? Where that came from? You know, no money to help people. I want to deal with the constituents. You are going to be viewed as utter fools to continue to listen to the same story all the time. You don't take it from me again. I was saying it all the time. I had a Richard Quest. He
Yeah.
came and corroborated what I was saying. He came and confirmed what we were saying at the mark. I have money. We've been saying it all the time.
Yes.
I know you heard the minister for yourself. He couldn't say we didn't have the revenue. He said we have it. But he said what they intend to do with it is to pay bills. We have bills to pay.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, come on. All is serious. 222-8255.
Yes.
And
One, two, eight, five.
yeah, we're still taking some more your calls. So
Yeah.
let's switch over. You remember I tell you when the election is coming, all the suffering that people went through,
Yeah.
and all the nonsensical stuff. People going to, the politicians will come with language to discuss something else that does not have any direct relationship with how people live in the country. You know? Remember, I tell you, I'll come and tell you what Duke say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Duke will be the issue. So Duke name was governing the country for the last 7 years. You understand? It could be Duke.
Yeah.
And depending on what is said about Duke, that should determine how you vote. That makes sense.
I
That
fed up
really
with that.
makes
I fed up with that.
Well, look today in the papers. You see this thing out there about Prime Minister saying, well, it's a special branch report. Okay, all right, fine. And if you don't have evidence, you don't have evidence. But here what they talk with. If he should lay on the table the special branch reports about members in the opposition, it will be the biggest bacchanal ever.
I tell you.
You understand? Now, that is laid there for people to start to wonder. What was the bacchanal there? What's the story?
What they do again, boy?
And then from platform after platform, he will be, not that he said he ain't gonna do it because he gonna be irresponsible, and he won't do that because he said, what if I was to do that? Suggesting I won't.
Yes.
Because it will be too bacchanal, and that is to no good end. All I'm saying to the only listen out to platforms going forward.
Yeah.
The foundation was laid, eh? So now you go hear what the special branch say about this one.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
I ain't calling the name, eh? But hear what they say about that one.
Yeah.
And people head to meeting to hear that.
Yeah.
Whether it's made up, whether it's fabricated, whether it is downright dishonesty, people going to head out to hear that.
Yeah.
And what is people will buy that.
Yeah.
And that's sad. And whatever special branch report anyone has on anyone else,
Yeah.
those things had nothing to do with how you live over the years
I tell
and
you.
how you have suffered. How the whole country looking like some parts of long ago Western town.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, looking horrible. Horrible.
Yeah.
And you're doing that in the whole country. Why? Is it that there's a group of people who want it so that people would be forced to leave the country and sell out their assets for next to nothing, and they could buy it? So that a few people could drive around and say, not only we control power, we actually own over 80 or 90% of the country.
I'm telling you.
We own all of Europe, we own all of Sawa, we own all of Rima, we own all of Shogunas, we own all of South.
Yeah.
That's the next year at the end, It ain't gonna be just downtown,
I tell you.
So that you are reinforcing powerful people with more resources to do what? To become more powerful. And as they buy up all the land and all the other assets and so on, people have to be renting from them. Soon they will tell people for me to continue to accept your rent, you have to vote that way.
Yeah.
So they call who's going to win or lose now, Because at that rate, they will soon say they're employing more people in the government. And to keep your job, you have to vote that way. And that's where they want to bring this country, which is actually removing democracy from the hands of the people from where it's supposed to be. You want to tell me other right-thinking people are not seeing the danger in running a society like this, putting people backs against the wall and compressing them? How that can help them? Then people would say, you're being harsh. Not being harsh. I'm not. And I'm happy that no one has told me that now in months. What if they only said that they could? I'm only talking for those who really have an interest in attempting to find out what is really happening and going on in this country. And a lot better could happen. When COVID came, we highlighted the good that was done by the administration. We did that. Where they fell down, we highlighted that too. We were balanced. And we'll continue to be that way, because that is the way radio talk show presenters and talk show hosts ought to be.
Yeah.
To be fair and balanced.
That's right.
If it not, and what is happening in the economy now, and what has caused people to be feeling as they are, I'm telling you, you're seeing a massive snowball. It's huge. And it is not in our interest. And that is the sad, damning reality. And I am saying, as I've said before, call your troops, not me. Call your troops. Say all hands on deck. You see that money all you're holding? Share it up. The people know now. Quest told them.
Yes.
And we are here to remind them that Quest told them the country full with money. Quest was saying, in effect, this country so small with so much money, we run the risk of holding or storing all that money. We might sink the island,
Yeah.
It will get too heavy. Share up that money, Share up that money, Mr. Government. Share up, because once you're holding that money, the governance of the country could never be viewed as good. You're holding money that is not alive while people suffer and die. And that same money that is not alive could contribute to other people sustaining their lives, improving their lives, and extending their lives. And with that knowledge of the money you're holding that could so help the people, you say no. Keep it there, lock it away. Find a way to keep on giving them the same message. Tell them the same message in 25,000 different ways until they get the point. But your job is to say, the one thing we're not doing is giving anything. Because I tell you, they are true to form. They have given you nothing. They seem as though they have no intention to give you anything. And I now believe you ought not to expect anything coming.
Exactly.
Nothing coming. Yeah. And if that's what you like, that's a matter for you. But it's terrible. It's terrible. And the people ought not to be treated this way. Sad. 2228255.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Gentlemen, again.
Yes, man.
I think, I agree with what Richard Noray is saying there. I think the whole issue is, if the commander or if the prime minister, I don't get the vibe. I consider myself the layman. I don't get the feeling like the head of this nation, like they care about people in particular. Like people, like how the citizens live in. I think those people are not at a certain level, other tutors like probably numbers and what percentage, but at the end of the day, it's still people. So when I just say, okay, 5% die because of this or whatever, like people. But I think they're more about the numbers. So when I hear people like, what is called this one? Minister Imbert speak, You don't feel like you really care about the plight of the citizens, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, just getting the vibe. I tell you how I feel like they just up there. The same as I making the decision, I just how it had to be. If 10% fall out, okay, that is it. I mean, I can't recall the last COVID actually saved this government. I can't recall the last thing that I say I could applaud, but then I remember how initially they dealt with COVID okay initially, and I think it's so funny that it actually, I honestly believe, resulted in this government being re-elected. Or they dealt with it at that last juncture here. Because, I mean, I don't know, I find like, I don't understand how people could just keep voting for the same things. It had to be because of how they handled COVID. I know people would want to keep other parts, but you know, we had to try something different. If it didn't work, vote them out. But you had to try something different because it's back and forth. It's not working.
It's not working for
one
plateau.
Yeah, one government holding things tight. And then the next one, well, the gates open and we just going back and forth. And then they'll come back in again, holding tight. Next one come in again, gates open. So we had to try something different because I'm in my 30s and I tell you a sense of hopelessness. I just feel.
Right.
Because there's one thing with the everything increasing and things just not working how it's supposed to work, and there's the next thing with the crime, you know?
Yes.
So you just say you're back against the wall, it's just pressure all around, pressure.
Yeah.
It's literally by the grace of God, I believe I'm living how I'm living right now, and I'm comfortable, and thank God for that. But what about the people who can't? Because, I mean, I think I'm making a decent enough salary, but I just feel the pinch at the end of the month.
Of course, brother.
No, I feel it.
Yeah.
So I say, what about those who working for 5,000 or 6,000?
Yeah, and they have those who working for less.
Yeah, what about them, you know? So it's kind of sad to say, but we need change because I ain't seen it improving anytime soon. I don't believe the current people who charge with navigating the course of this country, they care about the citizens that much. I think they more care about how we appear to be out there, how we look to other people. And my last point is, I mean, despite whatever flaws or faults with vision, Patrick Manning's vision, at least you feel like you're working towards something, a vision.
Yes.
You know, okay, you probably make some mistakes there, but you're trying to achieve this. And you see things being done to achieve this.
Yeah.
I do not know what we are trying to achieve. I feel like we just in the sea, and the boat we just trying to keep above water. It's not no vision. It's just going with the tide.
Yes.
Yeah, and in that kind of operation, those who have, and those who didn't have, well, whatever. But it have money, as Richard say, people driving Ferrari and thing in this country.
I tell you.
And plenty people who good with whoever it is in government. They make an admit because of the inefficiencies of the government institutions and how they're not working properly. So they fill in a gap. I just use an example, prison transport.
Yeah.
You make amends because of the inefficiencies and the connection with whoever it is in government. And nobody doing anything to change that.
Exactly, my brother.
Understand?
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Have a good one.
Right. Thank you, my brother. Mr. Felix, good afternoon. Mr. Felix.
Yeah, good evening, guys.
How you going, brother?
Are you okay? To begin with, when the government or I should say the country do receive a windfall from these oil and gas prices, it is so difficult for our government to spend that, to give the people that, you know. Imagine that. This is for the people, you know.
Yes.
They didn't do anything magical to earn this, you know.
Nothing.
Yeah, they're squeezing and they're tightening the belt on the people. And you know what is sad?
Yes.
Yeah, there is also the flip side, you know. When they do happen to mismanage the economy now, the people have to pay for it. And I'm talking about the case of NIS and NIB. Right? Imagine you want to increase the age now to 65. How many people will make it up to that? They will die on the job.
Yeah.
So we have to be punished because you cannot manage a fund, a scheme, and you're not going after the people. If you know that people are not paying their contribution, why is it that you are not going after the people who are not making their contribution? You want to suffer the masses. You want to squeeze them more. yes, we want all now to work up to 65, die before they reach 65. So we have nothing to give all at the end. Right? This is high-class nonsense. This could never be good management of an economy. Right? I tell you, every day I just get vexed with this government. Right? It's just bad management. Right? And it's a small island with a relatively small population. The people should be better off.
Yes, with big
They
money.
should be begging for what's theirs. Right? And on top of that now, when they even negotiating with public sector unions, you want to give them a 0% here, 0%. They must only choose one period for back pay and all kind of nonsense as if the country living in capital. I've always told people that the country has money, you know.
Yeah.
But it's for whom? Take care, guys. Enjoy the weekend.
You too, Mr. Felix. You see, Mr. Felix, they understand the thing. You know? I wish as a greater percentage of the people come to their senses and understand what's going on. You know? These people really take us for dum-dums, you know.
Yeah.
I don't. And like the guy said, Ferrari and thing I do there. I saw a vehicle. Well, I tried my best to see what kind of vehicle is that, boy. You know what I mean? The thing looking like $1 billion car on the road. I said, well, people have money in this country and they see the place hard.
Yes. That is the truth, Daddy, man.
I know.
Plenty money in this.
Yeah.
It's not easy, you know.
That some areas when you go into, your bottom jaw will hit the floor when you see the kind of houses and things.
Oh, yeah. And you can see the extravagant spending on the external part of the house.
Yes, all on the edges of the road. What people use to build a house, them fixing that. You know? The edge of the road by the gate and thing. You know? Good afternoon. Hello? Where disappeared to caller? Just hearing in the background. Let me give you something. All right, let me try that out. Good afternoon. Hello?
Hello. Yeah, good afternoon again.
Yes, my boy.
Two little points I want to make. I call him from Tunapuna.
Mm-hmm.
The gentleman who spoke about he want to believe that COVID was responsible for them getting back in power. Let me just inform that caller. Trinidad and Tobago was #1 in the world in respect of debt per capita. Trinidad and Tobago was #1 in the world as respect of debt per capita. So it cannot be that, or otherwise the people were misinformed. And in respect of the last caller who talked about pensioners have to go to 65, in respect of that, that is not so much of the issue. You know. The issue is when they came into office in Burton Company in the year 2015, at the end of June, they get a contributory package of over 516,000 contributors. And in the end of their first 5 years, that was reduced to 402,000. So I am asking, let it answer where that 112 to 14,000 contributors gone. But I know where they're gone. They lose their job, so they were not able to pay any more contribution. So the thing about it is that they bust the NIS, and they want people to now come and pay 65 years, which amounts to 5 by 12 is 60 months by $3,000. They're going to rob every individual when they introduce that 65 years. And the percentages in respect of over 60 would be a substantial amount. So it's not a matter over 65, it's that they have to account to the people where those 115 or 16,000 employers gone, the contributors. Let them explain that. And then they go talk about we have a low birth rate, and that's the reason why we're not getting in so much contributors, and we have to be careful. All right. Take care.
Take care, my brother. I tell you, people are sifting them out now, you know.
That's the idea that they want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. People starting to realize exactly what's going on now with all this fancy way of talking to the people, when they feel the people not understanding in this modern time, they have to be really, really out of it, not knowing or still thinking that, that those old strategies and the roughness on the platform and talking down to people could work. They have to say, thank God this is Trinidad and Tobago. You know. Around the world, when I look at that news, I tell you, news these days are more action and action movies. You know. News these days are more gunplay than some of the baddest westerns and police movies and things. You know. The news, and when you look around, people ain't, what we taking there, people are taking that. The kind of pressure
No,
them putting we under. The outer
they're
countries, they're not taking that, they're coming on the streets and they're letting them know what time it is.
and those who coming out, the passion is strong, you know.
Yes, how you mean? You have
Not
to
coming out and standing up like, why you doing with this? We
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
Nobody coming out with genuine fire. You know?
I mean, look at Sri Lanka.
Yeah,
Sri Lanka in a mess. But them people
yeah.
ain't giving up. The change prime minister, they're still on the street. They're saying, here, what happening? Fix we up now. Get this thing in order. Otherwise, this thing got no peace here. You know? I'm not aggravating anything here. But I said they should, and they know, you know, because they're on the world stage. They know what's going on at all the different international places. They know all where the troubles are and what causing it. They know all of that. But they still play that old type politics with us. You know. And the people here humble. We still humble. I'm not telling you to go and do no madness now, you know. But we still humble. Now when you look at the crime thing, that is where you could see frustration reaching some kind of max now, where we have no answer for it now. You know, I mean every
Look at
day.
the domestic murders.
I tell you, them
Some
ain't understanding what's going on. It had to be something causing that. And it ain't not just people just going on the other side. Pressures of survival lead up to that. I had a conversation with some
pressure,
fella.
too much pressure make you lose your patience, your temperament,
Yes.
everything. On.
Yes. I
You
would tell
become
it
very
fellas after this pandemic, the place will be different. I was hoping that it won't be that different, but I thought, well, in prices, I might just be going up, and all this thing. I saw right after the pandemic, like they designed this Ukraine war to put us under more pressure and have poor people suffering more globally. Like the global elites tell themselves, now we had to get rid of all them poor people. This place nice, you know. We could share up this place between us and our families and just get rid of them people who we have to look after. And they will be behaving so with our taxpayers' money in their pocket, you know. It's kind of like I'm giving you $100 to save for me every week. I say, well, I want you next month, right? And they give me permission to buy this shoe. And I know I save the money to buy this shoe. I think it's a wicked act that they keep bestowing on the people. And I know after this 5 years, plenty of them going into hiding. They're not coming back because they will realize that plenty people are changing. People are getting smarter. Well, the young people, I don't know. Who want to zest away their life? Because go ahead and do that. But there are lots of young people, like the guy who called a while ago. He said he in his 30s. I mean, look at the level of his understanding and the way he thinks and the way he sees things. He's not alone. He's definitely not alone. So I'm hoping,
No,
I don't know. I don't hope in them neither. We need a bunch of new people to start a new trek forward. We
the
need a
government, the government believes so much in the decency of the people of this country that if you tell them you had to, tighten your belt,
yeah.
people would tighten the belt in the interest of the bigger picture, which is the country. And that is what the people are being abused for, because the people would hardly want to believe what we say in history.
I tell you.
The government knows that too.
Yeah, them fellas eating ham, lamb, and jam and tell
Spread.
you eat fig and salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the same mood, Kyle. This is the same mood. One, it's based on fairness,
Yeah.
nothing else. Fairness.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. That's it. If they do good, I say so. If they ain't, I saying so too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Right. Great. Nice. Thanks for the big info, man. Yeah. So, folks,
So we
you
on YouTube.
yes. Oh, okay. Right, right, right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Yes. Yeah, we will. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Good. I like that. Sounds great.
So for all the people who say, they can't log on this way, manager, could you share with them once again all the ways they can log on? I get all these messages, saying this and that, but there are so many other things you're sharing there.
Mm.
Could you share with them all the ways they can listen to the show? Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Good. Mm-hmm. Oh. Oh, okay. That sounds very right. 'Cause a lot of people have been questioning me about that. So I can explain. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Good. Great. Great. Now I can answer people. Good. Nice, nice.
And for those of you who don't understand why we have done it this way, just accept it to mean, if you could, that this is the way of the future.
Mm-hmm.
And we have decided management, we follow management here. Management here, they have decided to engage in this approach to media, and in particular, the radio side of it, because it will be the way of the future. And while we are refining now and getting better as we move forward, when more and more people realize it is the way of the future and others start jumping on to make the operations solely online, they would have to then deal with the challenges that we would have already overcome.
Yeah.
And therefore, as the first mover, uh, there's huge potential first mover advantages that we're going to benefit from in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And you who have made the move with us, be proud of yourselves to be able to embrace the change and prepare yourself to move into the future in a way that is consistent with what the future may have for us there. So you should be proud of yourself as well.
Yeah.
So changes, you always say it's constant.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it may rob you a little, you know, not as comfortable as you were before. But if you had stayed as comfortably as you were before, then nothing would change. Sometimes you have to get a little, that nothing would improve. Sometimes you have to get a little discomfort before you start to get the new level of comfort.
That's
And you're
right.
going to look back and say, you know, it's a good thing
Mm-hmm.
they made the change and we made the change too, because look at what happening now.
Yeah.
Look at what happening now. Yeah. You just don't understand it fully. And I'd be honest with you all, while I think it's the best move, I know, like some of you all, it's some of it is new to me. We
Yeah.
rely on women and Paul and they
But so
in this thing,
definitely.
it's good enough to understand what your skill sets may be.
Mm-hmm.
And but when I look at MSNBC and CNN and most of them, it's
Yeah.
online, right? Through.
Yeah.
These are these are online and cable networks.
That's right.
Networks.
Whatever I
So
miss,
you know,
yeah,
yeah,
whatever I miss in real time, I pull it up on my phone.
yeah. So all and the final part I want to add to it is those of you who have made the change with us. I want to thank you all, yes. But although it's a learning curve for all of us, not necessarily those who lead in the way in 102 and rolling this out, they would learn something to as they go along because soon they may become consultants for other stations all over the Caribbean and so on, having done it first. But I want to say to you who have made the change with us, in case you didn't know, by making this change with us and continue to move forward with us, you are acquiring new skills that you probably didn't even know you had and or that you were capable of having. You now have them. And you may go to another country where what you are doing now to hear us is what you may have to do business in the next country. And you're gonna look back and say, no, it's a good thing. I was doing this, all the trouble I went through to get onto the station and now I understand it. You could now do business in another place where that is the only way to do business. You'll be able to participate then. So be happy and always try to find a way to embrace change. This is a nice change, and the numbers are wrapping up, I'm told. More
Yeah.
people will come. And so all we have to do, we have to stick it out and continue delivering our packages as we used to on the FM band
Mm-hmm.
and it will work out. Just have some patience. It
Yes.
happens all the time, you know. It happens all the time,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. Great. Yeah, that's very motivating, Chief.
And in case some of you didn't understand change again, I'm gonna show you all some examples here in our country. You remember when Port of Spain was the number one place, especially on a Friday evening, Frederick Street?
Yeah, it's not
I
anymore.
mean, that was it. And yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. Is that the place today?
No way, Jose.
You see how things change?
Mm-hmm.
So today now, people have spread out to the malls. You know, you would find those people now in the malls, whether it's Twin City, West Malls, the malls in Shagona, South,
Tree.
Long Sikela, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that's where you find the bulk of the people now.
Yeah.
Big car park, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you have pubs here, movie, fast food section, included, everything.
Yes.
So instead of lining a street with in front of a few stores
Mm-hmm.
and crossing the road and taking a drink downstairs and hiding it in a bag, and looking into the area. But there you go, yeah. And look at us now.
Yeah.
Port of Spain, no more people. Anytime we're passing down Frederick Street, then I driving through town. I don't even remember to take Frederick Street.
Yeah.
You understand? There's nothing that attracts me to go Frederick Street again. I'll
Exactly.
quicker head Long Circular, West Mall, Twin City, or some of the malls.
Yes,
Yeah,
C3.
yeah.
Come down, C3, best mall in the land.
And that's what changed.
How you mean?
Yeah, and
Of
that's
course.
what change
Yeah.
tends to do.
Yeah.
And that's what this change will do too. It's only a matter of time, so you'll wait and see.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. So I think we had in good. I know it's 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So
Yes, man.
yeah. So I think this is where we would stop streaming on YouTube
Yeah.
based on what one of our managers here, one of our senior managers has indicated.
Both of them.
Mr. Mohammed.
The both of
Yeah.
them.
And yes. So that what would happen is that sometimes I'm re-energized when I hear one of my songs, and I know once we streaming, it's not the best thing to run music for you all. So it's for us to talk when we hit 6, because this is like the real political stretcher.
Yes.
Headed up the road.
Yeah.
It's like freelance.
Yeah.
So yes, 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 yes.
Yes.
Yes, this is the time when we get to wax warm. So, see on YouTube, we had to be a bit formal and nice, looking at us all over the world.
Yes.
But after 6, we have to more leeway.
Yeah.
Well, yes, yes, yes. You can come back and tell everyone.
Mm. Yes. Pull it up. Good. Good. Good.
Whereas long ago on the FM band, somebody had to ask if I copy and tape or run it back also. Here, we just go and press and pull it back up. Correct?
Yeah.
There you go. So it is simplified for you all folks. It
Yeah.
is simplified.
Good.
So here we're going to take, yeah.
Yep.
And she speaks really openly, candid expressions. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. Yes.
No, no, and she has been doing a fine job, really. What you're seeing here now is a mixture of her intelligence, a legal background, a political background, her experience as a minister, all of it, yeah, pulled together. One.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a lot to listen to. She dissect the issues really well. At the end of the day, it's her view. You don't have to agree with her, or you could agree with her if you choose to. I agree with a lot she has to say, but I think she's quite compelling in her delivery. you'll tune in. And in fact, we may even turn part of that segment to Karen's view, you know. Yeah, we may look at that as we go forward, but I can tell you all,
Of course.
yeah, she fires folks and she tells us things that only someone who held office like she did could inform you or tell you about.
Mhm.
So we look forward to her. Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, yeah. I really enjoy her. I really enjoy her. And she has some humor, in it too.
Of course.
Yeah. Nah, she has some lively humor in it too. She's a woman with a lot of energy. I like her. Yeah. Before she used to come across so, how should I say, structured and more like an introvert, personality. Yeah.
Yes.
Karen Unleashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, telling you, I mean, straight talk. And we have her right here on a Monday where she tells you it as it is, you know. So tune into that.
Mhm. Yes. Yeah, we have news now, but go ahead.
We missed the last part, Ruben. Tune in.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Mhm. 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 Good, good. Nice.
Yeah. And smart TVs will be very helpful in that.
And if I should expand on what Ruben says, on Wednesdays we have Farid Ali, attorney at law. On Thursdays, Michaela Pandey, leader of the Patriotic Front, I think is the name of that party. And then on Fridays we expect our boy. How you describing Richard?
Mr. Traitor, no, Mudflower. Mudflower. Not traitor, not traitor. Sorry for that. Mr. Mudflower. Yes. On a Friday.
Yes.
Mr. Mud himself. Yes.
Yeah. That's it will be dynamic, trust me.
Yeah. So we look forward, especially it being one day, it's going to be an explosive
I tell
period.
you.
If you know me.
Yeah. Yeah. You could delve into yes, 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 yes. Okay, gentlemen, we go to the news.
All right, take it easy,
Yep.
Ruben. And
Power 102 Digital.
Yeah, yeah.
We sound like home. Power 102 Digital. Streaming 24/7 on power102fm.com and on the Power 102 Digital app. Power 102 Digital. This is your news bulletin.